marriage by itself, right? There's a lot of laws when it comes to marriage that were generated for civilizations prior to us, but still exist today. Like, what are some of the laws that exist in the legal system when it comes to marriage that you personally feel is outdated or doesn't really conform to what is going on today?
Well, I think that don't really conform. I think a lot of the old laws that didn't really make sense with marriage have, for the most part, been reevaluated. I think a lot of people don't know that adultery is a crime in a lot of states, right? It can be
Hold up.
punished for that, and I don't know why it's still law. One, because as attorneys, we never actually seek it, right? It's criminal punishment for adultery, but
criminal punishment, like you go to jail.
You go to jail.
There's states where you can go to jail for adultery.
You can, if a woman is scorned enough and can prove it, right, criminally through that standard, you can pursue an action against your spouse for adultery, a criminal action against your spouse. However, I mean, that's a law that really needs to be taken off the books because, like, what? And people don't actually do that. So, yeah.
Wait, what states is this? So I know what.
Georgia has it. New York has one.
New York has one?
Yeah.
I'm moving.
Oh, yeah. We're in the Bible Belt. So, we got all kind of stuff.
New York is not in the Bible Belt.
No. We are in the Bible Belt.
You are.
So, of course, Georgia has it. I live in Atlanta. Yeah. But New York is one. Yes.
I gotta Google this because I can't just sit here and take. I'm not,
Google it.
Because I need to see how far this goes. Which states adultery illegal? Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Kansas, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, New York, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Carolina. Basically the whole damn. Yo, listen, this is okay. All right. So hold up. Let me get this straight. So you mean to tell me? See, this further reinforces why men probably freak out with marriage, right? Because it's like not that okay. I'm not expecting. Can I finish though? Can I finish my thought? I just want to speak to the people and just like kind of speak my mind and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Though, okay. So what I'm saying is like there's certain urges that people have that people are still struggling with just naturally, right? So if you really think about it, I'm not condoning adultery or infidelity or whatever it is, right?
But aren't you?
No, I'm not because in my mind it's like don't bring in any additional distractions that your relationship can't handle. Like that's just I'm not condoning that. But what I'm saying is it's still a factor in people trying to maintain their relationships. Like it's not a new thing that people struggle to maintain fidelity in their relationship. But when there's a criminal punishment to it, I don't even know if a lot of people even know this, but if you add that to the mix, right? I feel like you're just further diminishing whatever potential upsides there could have been for people to be married if you could be criminalized for something that is a natural urge that people have had for centuries, right? I mean, not for centuries, thousands of years, millions of years of that, right? So that's one of the laws you're saying is outdated, right?
Completely outdated. Should be just taken off the books and eliminated altogether. But I mean, like I said, you don't see many people bringing criminal actions. One, because it's a hard standard to prove. Most people don't have pictures of their spouse cheating on them, right? Like, I mean,
investigators exist.
Act, right? You don't usually find out. People do find out, and then they don't have the time to take pictures because they're probably tearing the house up, right? But it's hard to prove. So, I feel like that's a part of the reason why, you don't really pursue a criminal action for adultery, but it is on the books. It is extremely outdated. And as you saw, it is a Class B misdemeanor in the state of New York. You can get up to 3 months in jail time, I believe, for it. So, yep.
They better be worth it.
You can drop a clues bomb on that one. It better be worth it.
Damn, yo, this is crazy. But you also mentioned, I remember you mentioned something about like common law marriage also. So what are your thoughts on that, and how does that work, and what are some things that people don't know about it, and how do you feel about its relevancy in today's environment?
Well, a lot of people think that common law marriage is still a thing in most states, and in many states it's been eliminated, right? In Georgia, it was eliminated. We tested my knowledge of the law. Oh, I remember the date. It's been a lot of years in Georgia.
A long time ago. Once upon a time.
Right. Common law used to be a thing. So a lot of people will call me and say, hey, we've been together for 7 years. We held ourselves out to the public as married and blah, 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 right? And because of that, we should still be considered common law married. And I'm like, well, when did this relationship start? Because if it started after the date of, and let me find out now so I can actually reference this. But if it started after the date that common law marriage was no longer recognized, you don't have nothing but a relationship, baby girl.
Right, but if it started before.
Right. It will be recognized if it was before the date that it was, the law was repealed.
Also depending on the state that your marriage was like recognized.
And depending on the state, right? Now, there are some states that do still recognize it. January 1st, 1997. There we go. So if you had a relationship that began after 97, no common law marriage. But if you have a relationship that began before January 1st, 1997, and it meets the elements of common law marriage.
Which is what?
Then, Jesus, you really tested my
you got to own a cat together.
You have to be married. You have to. I think it's 7 years. You have to hold yourself out to the public as like husband and wife, meaning like
Facebook friends.
No.
You have to follow each other. That's why the ladies want to follow them. You have to follow him online. He never followed you, girl, so he don't follow back.
Married. But it's like it's literally like people in the neighborhood, right, or in the community know
witnesses,
husband and wife, right? And a whole host of other factors that you have to meet, but you can't just pop up and be like, we common law married, because if ain't nobody know y'all was together, or you walking around saying I'm Miss Dixon and he's saying he's Mr. Damisse, then who are y'all? Y'all just go together. That's not a marriage.
I be like, look at us, we cute together though, right? No? All right, fuck it. Okay, so common law marriages is something that you're saying is outdated and doesn't really function.
It was recognized, but is no longer a thing in a lot of different states. And I think that people have not caught up with that, right? Because I still have people now that ask me about being common law married, and I'll tell them here in this state, absolutely not. Common law marriage is no longer a thing.
But the states where it does exist, do you feel like it has relevancy, or it needs to be gone too?
I think it needs to be gone, because why? Why didn't you just get married? Right? It's a harder process. You got to go to the court, and you got to prove all these factors existed, and you got to do this and do that. You could have just got the marriage certificate. And then if the court still does not recognize your marriage as common law, you're in the same boat that you were in. So you spent all that time with that person, right? And you have no legal benefit to that person's death, because not legal benefit to their death. That sounds bad when you say it, but like you're not going to be taken care of, even if they wanted you to be, because the court did not recognize your marriage if you didn't meet those factors.
And